All right, so part two of our discussion here on nutrition is supplements. Get quite a few questions about supplements. I like to think of supplements as what we sometimes call the Swiss cheese model. You know, a block of Swiss cheese is filled with holes, and supplements help plug those holes. I mean, if you're eating really good, following, you know, the MyPlate kind of guidelines, like I said before, MyPlate is works, but it doesn't take into account body sizes and stuff, but you know, it's the size of your plate, but the proportions are right. But even if you're doing a really good job of doing fruits and vegetables and dairy, it just seems like you're always missing out on something. You might not have enough calcium. You might not have enough fiber or something. So taking a multivitamin, taking some kind of supplement is a way to fill in those goals. Don't think of as supplements as the only thing. I've literally seen people who claim because they take some magic pill blend that they can eat whatever they want, whenever they want, and they will never gain weight. It does not work that way. You still need exercise. You still need to be thinking about proper nutrition. So, question is, what the heck supplements do I need? Well, we have a thing called the hierarchy of needs around the world of nutrition. And so, you know, everybody could probably use a multivitamin. Multivitamins would include, you know, something that whether it has it in it or a standalone like omega-3 fish oil. But, you know, get your A, B, C, D vitamins, number the magnesium, iron, all the different things that you should be able to get from food, but some people just can't because of whatever reason. So good multivitamin, and omega-3 fish oil is included in that multivitamin. That's something we should be thinking about, especially with the American diet, you know, omega-3s. And if you're going to be working out a lot, omega-3s can help you out too. They're an anti-inflammatory, so they help reduce some of the inflammation. So if you get stiff joints and stuff after working out, omega-3s, it will help with that. And then after that, you know, protein seems to be very popular for folks. Don't forget high glycemic carbs. So again, things that the body can actually use versus, you know, Franken-carbs, these manufactured things that come in cardboard boxes that claim to be carbohydrates but are more, I don't know what they are. But a good protein blended with a high glycemic carbohydrate ratio is pretty good. This is where, you know, I'd said in the previous video, maybe like meal replacements, that if you find yourself skipping breakfast, a good meal replacement shake will work for you. It's got a good balance of carbohydrates and proteins. It can do wonders, especially if you're skipping meals, if you're skipping breakfast, if you're too busy to go get a good lunch and you're screaming through, you know, the drive-thru at McDonald's, maybe thinking about a shake would be better. You don't want to be completely like drinking your food, but this is a good option. Creatine. Creatine is probably the most studied supplement on the planet. For the most part, eat yourself a steak, you got all the protein or all the creatine you need for the day. Probably got most of the protein you need too. But eat a good steak, eat a lot of red meat, you probably got all the creatine you need. Some people need more creatine though, so if you find that you're, you know, like a hard gainer and you're having some difficulties with some of your muscle development, yeah, creatine might be something to add in. And then lastly, your branched chain amino acids, BCAAs. A lot of research actually lately. It's not so much the BCAAs that are what we need. There's a thing called EAAs, essential amino acids. A lot of people get the EAAs and BCAAs confused, although a good number of your BCAA blends have the essential amino acids. What we're just looking at here is amino acids are the building block for your muscle. So again, if you're a hard gainer, if you're having a difficult time with muscle endurance and with lifting and working out, you know, BCAA is not a bad thing to think about, but we need to be careful about what we're buying. So that's why you think of the hierarchy of needs, and it looks like a pyramid. This is the base. Everybody could use it. Then you get into the things that, you know, pretty good, most folks could use. And when you get up here, you don't need as much of it. Not as many people need this. But everyone can start down there. So, you know, don't be going, oh, I'm taking a fitness class. I better go down to GNC and, you know, spend $500 on supplements. You don't have to. No, sorry. Again, though, read the labels. Folks, read the labels. One of the biggest things that are a red flag for you if you are buying supplements. You go to the supplement store. Be very leery of these secret formula or proprietary blends. So here you have, proprietary blend. There's 4,000 milligrams of this stuff in here. There's creatine in there. Ooh, that's good. We just said creatine. People could use that. A couple of these things, I don't know what they are. Some kind of berry extract. Yeah, great. Caffeine. Caffeine's good. Caffeine's a stimulant. We could use that. Caffeine's in coffee. Caffeine's in Mountain Dew. Like I said before, maybe scale back on the Mountain Dew. But yeah. Look at this label. Okay, here we go. Amino blend. It's got a bunch of your branched chain amino acids. It's got some of your essential amino acids. How many of them? We need a specific amount of them. And you got all the right ones in here. Valine, theroline, methylline. These are the ones we need. But how much of them do we get? Are they putting just a little bit in here just so they can put it on the label and loading it up with stuff we don't need? We don't know. Energy blend. Ooh, look, caffeine, green tea extract, bunch of other stuff, green coffee extract. I don't know what any of that means. I know what caffeine is. Apparently green tea is supposed to be good for you, antioxidant. Green coffee is also supposed to be something, but how much of these things are in there, I don't know. Could be, you have 160 milligrams. It could be literally, 150 some milligrams of just pure caffeine and just a little bit of the green tea and stuff. Which gets us into the thing we refer to as efficient dose or effective dose, along with what's called pixie dust. Pardon my cough. I am sorry. The amount of a drug that is sufficient to achieve a desired clinical improvement. So there's lots of medical research out there that has shown certain things will, yes, help us burn fat. Certain chemicals will, yes, give us energy. Caffeine is actually one of the most highly studied drugs out there also, along with like creatine and whatnot as it relates to stimulants. Caffeine has been showed time and time again to be good. It will help your performance, not by a lot, but it will help it. And so what you see is here we've got our proprietary blend in this energy drink, pre-workout. It's got creatine in it. How much? We don't know. It's got glycerin. It's got amino acid in it. Ooh, there's caffeine. I'm betting this thing's got a lot of caffeine, and it's probably got quite a bit of creatine, and it's just got a little bit of this other stuff. And they're claiming on the label that having this other stuff in here, is going to create some pump for you that's going to give you an awesome workout. Versus here's another, energy drink, pre-workout. They don't have a proprietary blend. They're telling you flat out, we're giving you 200 milligrams of caffeine. That's a lot. I mean, it's not like kill you a lot, but that's quite a bit. So, this other stuff, they're telling you how many milligrams is in here. And, I remember reading something not too long ago about deer antler velvet extract being a new pre-workout thing. How much you need to be effective, I don't know, but they're telling you flat out they're giving you 50 milligrams. Whether that is effective or not, I don't know. You need to do the research on whatever, supplement you want to use. But like this one, I don't care what your research says. They're not telling you how much it is. I can guarantee you probably the main ingredient here is probably caffeine and creatine. All these other things, which probably they're supposing on the label, oh, it's got this for this, it's got this for this. It's being pixie dusted in there. They're putting just a droplet or two of it in there, and it's just enough to put it on the label, but you will not feel an effect from that. Which gets us into one of those big questions, pre-workouts. Do I need a pre-workout? I don't know. Do you? If you feel like you need one, great. If you don't, great. Caffeine has been proven time and time again to be a great pre-workout. Coffee is legitimate pre-workout. Some people like coffee, some people don't. Some people have an effect, coffee makes them need to go to the bathroom, so it might not be a great pre-workout. But you need to decide what's best for yourself. When you look at a lot of pre-workouts, there is quite a bit of caffeine in them. So, hey, it's a stimulant. It's what it's doing for you. Does the cost justify what it does, though? When you are looking at the fact that some of your, pre-workouts could be $4 or $5 a scoop, and you're just getting the amount of caffeine that you get in a coffee. You go to Starbucks and get a $2 coffee. well, oh wait, man, Starbucks is $5 these days. So maybe the pre-workouts are better. I don't know. Joking. But you need to be looking at what the efficient dose here is, how much caffeine you're getting from the product, and any of the other hoo-ha they put in there. I would say lean towards the folks who are staying away from the proprietary blends and keeping the number of ingredients to a minimum in there, that they're just looking at things that are known to give you energy, the caffeine, vitamin B12, etc. Anything else that they're throwing in there, you got to be mindful sometimes. The big thing is, folks, do some research. Don't just buy something because you saw an infomercial, because your favorite celebrity is recommending it. It doesn't mean it is going to be good. A lot of brands, use the pixie dusting idea. They put a little bit of everything in there, and they've got this long list of ingredients on the label. And the reality is each item in there is just a very little bit, and it's not enough for you to even feel the effect. But they're saying that because some researcher said that this ingredient could lead to fat loss, they throw it in there in the smallest amount they can, and they jack the price up. Remember, salespeople, they're paid to sell. You go into a vitamin store, a GNC, wherever you're buying your supplements, chances are the salesperson is directing you towards a product that they know they will make a profit off of, or there is their sales goal because the manager told them to push this product this week. Likewise, as I said, I have nothing wrong with direct marketing, but there's a lot of those pyramid companies out there. If you have to sell something in order to be a customer to buy it, you got to be leery about what it could be. And I've been told some of those brands are really freaking good, but that still is a little difficult. That how can I buy something, but the only way to buy it is I have to be a seller too. It always seems sketchy to me. Some of your store brands, you go into some of these vitamin stores and you have like the store brand, and it's right next to the celebrity brand. The store brand is cheaper than the celebrity brand. You're just paying for the celebrity on the cover. They're the exact same thing. They come off the same assembly line, and it's just that on Mondays, they stick one label on it, and on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they stick the celebrity label on it. So check out those labels, do your research, find out if the extra $20, $30 you might be spending to have some particular person's face on the label might not be worth it. And be aware of your brands that are all pixie dust. And again, these are the brands that throw everything on there. They make all these claims, and you really can't tell whether or not they'll do what they claim, simply because everything is behind the proprietary matrix blend, or whatever they're calling it. So be smart. Don't just buy into the hype on all these things. And unfortunately, a lot of these brands are really good at selling you on the hype. And you need to be smart about what you're buying, simply because they prey on people who are looking to, feel better, look better, whatever. All right, so really when it comes down to nutrition, be smart. Shop that outside edge of the grocery store. Practice good food habits. Calorie counting, yes, works, but you need to be mindful that your calorie count, you don't always have to be on a 2,000 calorie diet. Some of us need to be on higher or lower depending on our goals. So calculate your calories as it relates to what your body needs. Adjust it as the years go by. But even just be smart using the proportions, the MyPlate, or the size of your palm, the meat, the carbs and the fats, and think about what you're eating. Eat slowly. That'll cause you to usually stop before you're full, and your body knows when it needs more food. Listen to your body. But if anybody has any questions about nutrition, anything specific, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in class, and we'll have a good workout in class, and we can talk about anything in there. See you then.